what's happening, Wargamers? Welcome to the After Action Report for the Cabal vs. Shield list. And that was quite an interesting game. I flexed a couple of my tactical muscles there. I think I had a couple misplays late in the game. Troop, you had some interesting plays that I have some thoughts on.
Yep.
But let's start first. I want to know what was your reasoning behind choosing 14 and sword base?
So 14. Key story is I think Malekith is a hard model to deal with.
Absolutely.
And
yep.
Malekith, when you have 20 points, it gives you the maximum amount to deal with. He's got some support, but I think almost all the models that I'm going to bring with Malekith, unless I'm bringing an entire bulk and strength kind of thing, I feel like if he's coming in with some support pieces, he should be low to the ground. It should be, I'm a 7 threat, what are you bringing? Because hopefully my little mooks are going to do a little bit better than your little mooks. And my Malekith is almost always going to be going over top of whatever you have.
Okay, so that's interesting because I think my little mooks actually outperformed your little mooks.
I completely agree, and I hate the fact that you paid 0 points for your guys, and I paid 2 points for Bullseye.
Shield Ninjas, they boss, man.
Yeah.
So no, it was very interesting. I do think it was the right call, for the record. I think going 14 against Shield, I think Shield scales very well up.
Yeah.
If you had given me 3 more points from our other scenario, that would have been Fury Senior or a Human Torch. Yeah. And frankly, I think Fury Senior could have gone up a flank and been very comfortable with a flank.
And against a lot of forces, I wouldn't do this. Like Web Warriors, there's no chance. Against even Criminal Syndicate for most of the list, I'm not going to be trying to go lower than you.
Well, against CS for sure. Web Warriors, I think Malekith can do it. But.
Well, I think they can get out of the way with enough things. And this was definitely easy to score points and try to avoid Malekith. Like, I couldn't spend all that time going after stuff. But because we had to fight, I feel like I had the chance to win the game.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. So that was kind of interesting. I will say I'm very happy with She-Hulk's performance into Malekith, even with that absolutely insane 9 or 8 damage hit that you did into her very early on.
Yep.
She remained standing the whole game, which was a big deal. She did a good deal of control into Malekith, but as soon as you kind of got away from her, that was kind of it for her. She wasn't really able to keep up, which was kind of unfortunate. I probably played Shield Mobile too early in the game.
Fair.
I think I got ahead of myself. I probably should have saved that for a late game because if I had Shield Mobile in that last round, it would have been a different story.
Absolutely.
Would have been a massively different story because I could have moved in, thrown something, flipped an objective, maybe punched, and then Shield Mobile over. Yeah. Right? It would have given me a lot more action economy. But yeah, I gotta say, Shield agents. They performed above and beyond today. They dumpstered Zemo.
Let's just say them plus Montesi is a good combo.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Them plus Hammers is also a good combo.
Yeah.
If you want some fun, 5 dice pistol attack with a Fury reroll, definitely a good combo there. So anyway, let's discuss your other squad selection there. Sure. Zemo, we know why Zemo was there. He just kind of dropped to Shield mooks pretty early.
Yes.
Rocket and Bullseye.
So. Rocket and Bullseye, there is another alternate that I had coming up to this point, and that was Dr. Voodoo. Dr. Voodoo has some really good gameplay in this where he can just turn off somebody else's thing, and at 14 threat, that's especially valuable because all of a sudden you can turn one of their support pieces into a 100% you better fight this thing out. And then on the other side, I don't need him to do a lot of work. Malekith is going around, pushing a lot of people around. Dr. Voodoo can do what he does, and then if I have to return Brother Daniel, I can. But this list definitely could have lent to that. But I really felt with the 2 sword bases at either side, I was going to have a lot of value, forcing you to go on one side or the other, and have Malekith decide his fights.
So I'm going to be completely honest. I think Voodoo actually would have given you a much stronger win in this one because you would have shut down one of my abilities to take books.
Yep.
Which that was where I scored all my points this game was through books.
100%.
Through books and through you killing me, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So I think Voodoo would have given you a stronger win in this case. I think by you taking Bullseye and Rocket, you gave me a little bit more avenue to engage with the game.
Yep. But I will say that I expected them to suffer much more calamities than we did in this game. You focused up on Zemo the whole time, and that was pretty significant for my guys.
I never wanted a situation where Zemo was giving rerolls to Malekith.
Yeah.
I never wanted that.
And I thought it was a trap. I thought I was going to lure you over here, pop in, murder some people, Phantasmagoria. It was going to be a great play. And then Shield agents go,
nope.
What's this book say? Zap? Oh, there's no more Zemo.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, so it was interesting. It created an interesting experience, and I think
I don't. Worst thing is, honestly, if I, instead of coming up, grabbing this book and moving here, if I had moved here, I think it would have been an entirely different game.
Yep, because I would not have had line of sight on you, and it would have changed a whole bunch of things.
If Cap came over here and fought me, that's great, because this is a great place for me to fight with my guys. I have Rocket, I have Zemo, I have Malekith. I can do that.
Now that is something to consider though, because I think it was an on your left that I did here. It was either on your left or Shield Mobile.
I think you did.
I think it was Shield Mobile.
Shield Mobile
because I didn't have the power for both.
Right.
That was where I used the Shield Mobile, and I got to say, like, Cap really whiffing on that I don't like bullies really impacted the flow of my game a lot. Because even if I'd gotten even his throw trigger off, it would have been a different game in a lot of instances. But Cap just got dummied this game. Like, it's weird. I have a really weird history with Cap. He seems to flub his rolls quite a bit for me, which is odd. He shouldn't be on 7 dice. He should be getting better results than that.
It's hilarious because I feel like his weaker attack tends to overperform and his big attack tends to underperform for you.
Well, the thing is, I wasn't even looking for damage on that attack. I was looking for the throw. I wanted one wild result on 7 dice. That's all I want. If I got the wild and the crit, and I could have stunned and slowed you as well as the throw, that would have been amazing. But I was just looking for that throw, just to put Zemo away. I didn't even care that you had the book. It's like, fine, have that book. Because that would have changed what I was doing over here, where Fury and the Shield mooks would have gone over here to take this point, and I would have gotten the console, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was kind of a big thing for me. I got to say, I still think She-Hulk is probably one of the best counters to Malekith at the moment.
I agree.
I was in a position where I was able to slow and stun you, or slow and stagger you quite regularly. I wish I could stun you, but Malekith is still... I still don't think Malekith is healthy for the game. But he is here, so we look for solutions.
Absolutely.
There was a couple instances where I wish I had like 1 or 2 more power, so I could have used superior weight training a little bit more.
Absolutely.
I will talk about one play where I think it was a gamble, but at the end of the game, I let Conan get the better of me, come over here to do some damage. In reality, what I should have done is I should have moved down here, flipped, walked over here, flipped, then thrown. And then do that. The problem is with Rocket right there, it was only a 50-50 chance that I was flipping the console. And I mean, if I flipped the console, yay, that would be game for me. If I flipped the console and threw the rocks on station and got rid of Malekith, that would have been game. And I don't know, curiosity's getting the better of me. Look at that, it would have flipped. So that's probably the play I should have done. I let Conan get the better of me. Because it's just roll 1 die. I think were you checking to see if I had to roll more than?
No, I was actually looking at the points. That's all.
But that actually would have been game if I had dazed Malekith as well. So that was the play I should have done. I lost sight of it. I got a little greedy and did that, and I shouldn't have. That was my bad. And that's the sort of reason why we're running this game, right? To see plays like that. But otherwise, like I really like. She-Hulk did work for me. I think there was one round where I felt like she didn't do much.
Yeah, I agree.
Which I really like. Fury and the Agents did work for me.
See, I felt like Fury did just a little bit of work, whereas I feel like the Agents absolutely overperformed in a lot of ways.
Well, remember, some of those attacks were coming from Fury giving them extra attacks as well, right? But Fury and the Agents did perform quite well. If Cap had performed a little bit better, I think that also might have put the game in my favor.
I don't disagree. I definitely wish that Zemo was involved in this game. That would have been fun.
Looking back at it, I think probably what would have been the better play, instead of sending Cap over this way, Cap should have just dealt with Rocket over here and just taken some lumps from Malekith. I think that's what he probably should have done. I think that would have gone better for me. Because I think Cap had a pretty good chance to get rid of Rocket with a couple stars and stripes. I had the power for on your left. That would have put me into double tap range. Just double tap Rocket, injure, like just daze him right off the bat. Keep Steve over here, because then that forces Malekith to basically decide, okay, well, maybe I daze Steve, flip this, and then run over here or something like that, right? Well, actually, no, you would have to like ferocity over to here, kill Steve, and then move or something like that.
100%.
Which then Steve gets back up, punches Rocket again twice, then does an on your left over to here, picks up the thing again, and the console would have been mine. So I think I misplayed Steve. I think that might have actually been a crucial misplay on my part.
Now, I do think there is a certain level of positioning with Malekith that I could have optimized a lot better, because I feel like There's a couple of moves, knowing that you did have the slow coming off of She-Hulk, that I should have been a little bit more cagey with where I was putting him and measuring a couple more things out. But of course, he overperforms. That's his way.
Now, you also had the point lead for much of the game. I think you were actually in a safe position to one turn just go, I'm just going to shake it, get rid of it, and then maybe move or maybe ferocity into something.
Yeah.
I think that might have been a play because you always had the points ahead of me, right? There was never a point where I was ahead of you. So I think you had that wiggle room to do it because it also would have forced me to then have to try and reapply it.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, I just want to quickly talk. I'm so disappointed the Shield Ninjas did not pick up Malekith in the very end there. Because that was another thing. If I had picked up Malekith from there, and I wouldn't even have had to worry about this over here, right? Then all of a sudden it's just like a move type thing. And yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things that could have happened. I think in the end there was a couple misplays that you were able to capitalize on and really run with. So I do think this was definitely a deserved win, an earned win on your point here. So I'm not going to try and take that away at all.
Sure.
I definitely appreciate the practice going into this one.
Well, I hope you do well at the event.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what happens. Like I said, I'm still not sure if the video is going up for the weekend of, or if you're seeing this like 2 weeks after the event.
I also wish that in the past you had done better as well. So it's great.
There we go. Here we go. I'm fighting for the what is it? The honor of the store here.
Yeah. Well, maybe even honor of the Niagara region.
Honor of the Niagara region. Oh, jeez. Now we're just being silly. Anyway, I think we've kind of said what we have to say about this. You already know our thoughts on Malekith. Just revision on the Quinjet. It's the second time we've used the Quinjet. I think having it off center made for a much less interfering piece of terrain.
It was great because it was a big part of the game. There was a certain part of the area that we didn't use, and otherwise we interacted with it pretty well. Bullseye took one wild slide, but otherwise it was pretty good.
No, I definitely think it's a great piece on the table. I'm softening a little bit on it. I am. I don't think it's as much of a hindrance as I originally felt.
I think it's got like a super cool level, so I can forgive it for a lot of its transgressions.
All right, so 2 Quinjets?
Yeah, double
two
Quinjets.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think we've said what we have to say about the game. I think for the most part we played a fairly clean game. We did realize halfway through that Troop should have been getting some pushes in on me. Whether or not that would have impacted the way everything was going, hard to say.
Yeah, there's certain situations I was happy where he was, and I'm not sure how much I would have adjusted it, but I'm sure I could have tried to X some little advantage out. But
it's possible.
At this point, we're okay with the game at the end. It was pretty solid.
Yeah, we're okay with it. I think in the grand scheme of things, it was a fairly clean game. I don't think we made general rules mistakes this time.
We didn't have too many guys to do it. So.
Yeah, we didn't have enough people. It was a very, very small game. All right, well, as usual, guys, leave your comments below. Let us know what you like, what you didn't like. Let us know if you saw something we missed as usual, and we are going to see you next time. Happy wargaming.